What are the best e-bikes in 2020 for under 5,000 euros? Riders, welcome back to the channel, and this is part 3 of my ultimate buyer's guide to buying your first or second or third e-bike. When I bought my Decoy 6-9 months ago now, it was a minefield out there, so I thought I'd put together the ultimate buyer's guide. Before we get into it, I need your help. Can you please, if you haven't, subscribe to the channel, share it with your mates, like the video, put a comment. It all really helps and adds up. Now, if you haven't seen my last video on the ultimate buyer's guide, it's a must before you select and pick your e-bike. We talk about the pros and cons of buying online and also in a traditional bike shop. Okay, riders, so these are my picks. I've probably missed some and everyone's got their favorites, but for me, these are the standouts. And in 2020, let me tell you, it is really hard to find an e-bike now. There's so many around, there's so many good ones. Online bikes, these are in no order, just the bikes that I like for 2020. Okay, starting off, Propain Ekano, I think it's how the Germans say it. Propain is a direct-to-consumer company, very much like YT or Canyon, a little bit younger, a little bit smaller, but they're making some banging bikes. And in 2020, the Ekano is a pretty amazing e-bike. If you like customizing your bikes, go over to Propain's website, have a play. You can fully customize their bike. You can do 29er, 27, you can do mullet. It comes with a Shimano E8000 steps motor. The geometry is bang on. It's an aluminium frame, but don't let that hold you back. The pros for me on the Ekano is price, customization, and wheel size. And the con, look, there was a little bit of people talking about online that there was a long lead time on these bikes. Riders, if you've bought one or you've ordered one, I'd love to hear how you got on. Put some comments below. And another thing that I'm a big fan of Shimano brakes. I was a little bit disappointed that you don't have the customization of some XT or some Saint brakes. Okay, who's it for? Look, this bike's for everyone. You can build it how you like it. You can build it tough or you can build it more trail orientated. So it's for everyone, I think. Commencal Menta Power SX. I love this bike. Honestly, if it was available when the Decoy was available, when I made the decision, I might have gone for it. I do love that they've gone for a full 27, not plus, 27 2.5 double down tires front and back. The build is top spec, 5,500 euros. Shimano E8000 motor again. If anyone fancies a trip up to Andorra, just between Spain and France, you can get an extra 10% off in store if you go and collect the bike. And also, if you're not sure, you can go and test the bike. And I'm pretty sure they do rent the bikes, but if you buy the bike, they refund the rental price. Not sure, but that's what I've heard. Pros, they are in stock right now. They are a very sexy bike. The price is amazing. And they have double down tires. Con, comes with code brakes. You know I'm not a fan of codes. Who's it for? Look, this bike is for someone that wants to go downhill fast and aggressively. Look, don't get me wrong, it will do everything, but this bike is designed as a bit of a shuttle monster. Riders, you know I have this bike, you know I love this bike. I still think it's a great option in 2020. Geometry, carbon mainframe, price, sexy, great ride, great quality service from YT. Look, it's a banging bike for the money. Definitely worth getting on the list. Okay, pros. It's a sexy bike and very upgradable. When I say upgradable, you come with a banging frame and some of the parts, E13, we're not a fan. Some of the parts are you can upgrade very quickly. Now I've made my base, it's almost a pro race and it's cost me about 5,500 euros to date. So it is a great option. Con, and this is a pretty big con for me, and I didn't actually think about it too much when I was getting the bike. The battery is a YT specific battery. So what does that mean? It means If you have a problem with the battery, you are going to have to send it back to YT. Also, if you want to travel, you're going to have to contact YT and see if you can rent one or buy another one. At the moment, I don't think you can actually buy aftermarket batteries. If I was going to be traveling a lot with this bike, I might be opting for something with a Shimano or a battery that is more readily available, so when you go somewhere you can rent it. Radon Render 8.0. This is another very new bike. Radon dropped this bike I think 2 months ago. If you haven't seen it, hop on their website and have a look. Amazing bike, amazing looking bike. Carbon mainframe, aluminium chainstays. It's a Gen 4 Bosch motor with a 540 watt-hour battery. It's more of a trail orientated bike. I think it's 150, 140 suspension. Look, the parts are pretty good for the spec is very good for the price at 4,000 euros. Pros, sexy bike. Price, amazing. New large battery and the new Generation 4 Bosch motor. Cons, it's got a long chainstay, but a long chainstay is pretty good for someone that is not maybe that confident at riding. The bike's going to be far more stable. And 140 travel, but once again, if you're looking for a touring bike, this could be your perfect bike. Who's this bike for? I kind of think this bike is for someone that is entering the budget e-mountain bike sector, someone that wants to do longer days in the saddle, because we've got 150, 140. It's not a big super enduro, aggressive enduro bike. It's more a trail bike, but you're getting that massive 625 battery, new motor. It's a great bike. So riders, that's it for buying online. I kind of think the bike industry has had a bit of a kick up the butt with the online companies, and I think the prices in 2020 are getting closer. I think the online prices are going up, and I think the bike shop prices are coming down. So the first one on the list, the Cube Stereo 160. If you're looking for value and buying in a traditional bike shop, then you can't look past the Stereo 160 from Cube. I mean, this bike for 5,000 euros is an absolute banger. We have 160 front and back, carbon mainframe, Bosch Generation 4, 625 hour battery, Fox suspension, MT7 brakes. This thing is a beast for the money. I personally think dollar for dollar buying in the bike shop, this is the best value e-mountain bike on the market in 2020. Pros, price, build, brakes. Con, I mean, it's not the best looking bike on the market in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Okay, there's a dark horse in the list, and looking at the numbers and looking at the build and the price, this looks like a banging bike. I mean, if you can get past the fact that it's made by Decathlon, then it could be a great option. The Decathlon Stilus. 6 weeks ago, Decathlon dropped this bike, and I have to say, for 3,200 euros, it's a pretty banging bike, okay? The suspension's pretty entry level, but you're getting a Bosch Generation 4 motor with a 540 watt-hour battery. Pretty good brakes, pretty good tires. Look, for 3,200 euros, I think this is a great option for anyone really looking at entering the e-bike market on a budget. The pros definitely have to be the price. You're buying it direct from Decathlon, so you can go in, you probably can test it. And there's a big one there, Decathlon do zero finance. You gotta check in your country if you can get this bike and if they're doing, what type of finance deals they're doing. But zero finance, I mean, this is a great deal. Cons, I mean, if you can get past that it's made by Decathlon, and also it's not a tested geometry yet, so the bike is very new. But look, the geometry is pretty similar these days, so I would say if you're on a budget, this is a great option. Specialized Kenevo comp. When they dropped the new Kenevo a few months ago, I wasn't that impressed, but it has grown on me, to be honest. Okay, the build isn't the best, but really when we're talking about it, are we really going to notice the difference between the top spec build and the middle spec build, what you are getting at this price point, around €5,500, is you're getting a banging frame, great geometry, great motor, and all that research and development that Specialized put into their bikes. If you are buying a Specialized, we all know you're not buying it for its value. What you are buying it for is the huge amount of research and development they put into their bikes, the aftermarket service and support. I mean, if you are a person that really wants the best suspension and all that stuff, then probably Specialized isn't the bike for you. Pro, frame, look, motor, ride, geometry, research and development. Con, build spec and availability. Who's the Kenevo for? Look, the Kenevo is for someone that wants to party, man. Like, you want to go up to the mountain fast and down the mountain even faster. You can do cross-country rides. Rob from Rob Rides, if you don't know his e-bike channel, I don't know where you guys have been, he's actually riding one now and he is raving about it. So I would love to get on one and test one, but I think this is for someone that just really wants to go downhill fast, but it will permit long cross-country rides. Kona Remote Control 160. This is the most expensive bike in the list at €5,999. But I feel we might see a price drop over the next 6 months. But guys, let's really look at it. 435 chainstays with a Shimano motor. Come on, son. That is what I've been waiting for. I really want to get on this bike and try it. I love short chainstays. And if you watch my channel, you know that with an e-bike, with the weight of an e-bike, I really don't feel that we need long chainstays. I think the bikes are already stable enough. Pros, short chainstay, playful bike, great geometry, great look. Cons, price, brakes, tires. Who's it for? Look guys, I think it's a bit of an all-rounder, this bike. It's probably for everyone. If you're looking sort of in between trail riding and super enduro riding. Riders, sorry about that. We had a technical problem and I lost the last bit of that video. So the last bike on the list is the Merida E160 900E. I mean, if you've been watching the channel, you know I love this bike. And actually, while I'm in Australia, Dominic, one of my mates, is actually letting me ride his E160. Let me tell you, it is such a great bike. He's got the 900E, and wow, for the money, you can still find this bike in Europe for around €5,000. And yeah, okay, it hasn't got the integrated battery, but it's still got the Shimano Steps motor, full Fox suspension front and back, Saint brakes, nice DT Swiss e-mountain bike specific wheels. I mean, I don't think you can get better value for money than this bike. Okay, pros, Saint brakes, Fox suspension, and Shimano motor and battery. Cons, look, I like a pretty long bike and they only made a small, medium and large. So I think the large is around 460 reach. So that for me, I mean, I'm actually riding a medium at the moment and I'm not finding it that bad, but that, I mean, if you like a long bike, you might have to go for something else. So I'm sure you're wondering after watching that, what would I pick in 2020? Look, it's a massively difficult decision to make, but I reckon if I was going online, I would probably go for the Propain because I really like the look of it. I like the company and I just love the fact you can customize that bike. I probably would put 4-piston Shimano brakes on it, but you know, that's just a personal preference. And if I was going bike shop, I reckon it would have to be the Kenevo. Look, I really like the look of that bike and I would do some pretty basic upgrades. I'd probably ride it the way it was, and I do like playing around, so I probably would upgrade the suspension and brakes at a later point. But I'm pretty sure, you know, Shimano know what they're doing. Like those parts aren't the best parts in the market, but I'm pretty sure they will get the job done. Okay riders, that is it for my list of best value €5,000 or less e-bikes in 2020. Now riders, if you can, do me a favor, share my channel, like the video, put a comment down below, subscribe. It really means a lot, and these videos are a lot of work. If you are interested in watching my long-term review on the Decoy, I hope hit up here. And if you want to watch what's better, buying online or bike shops, hit over here. Riders, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Friday.